Hello everyone, and welcome to my first video in what's going to be a multi-step video, or a multi-part, I guess I should say, video on this small little tree painting that I've decided to do. So a little bit about me. My name is Aaron. Hi, and I live in Indiana. And I've been trying to do a little bit more on YouTube. I really haven't done much on YouTube before. Over the past week or two, I've been putting some more shorts, just a few short videos up, um, trying to see if anyone would be interested in some of the art that I do. Um, and so I decided that this would be a good opportunity for me to do kind of a step-by-step, or just like a documenting my process of making this painting. So this canvas is, for me, kind of a small canvas. I usually prefer to paint on a larger scale, but what I'm wanting to do with this painting is I'm wanting to uh, experiment, I guess, with a few different media. I often do mixed media in my work, and if you do look at some of my shorts, you'll see some of my more mixed media pieces. But I have some different items that I want to try to incorporate into this painting. I want to mix some uh, media with oil paint that I haven't done before. And so that just makes sense to do it on a smaller canvas before I move on to something bigger. The subject of what I'm drawing here is a tree in a landscape, and I know that's really hard to see, given right now you're looking mainly at my shoulder and you can't actually see the tree. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Uh, Video didn't quite turn out how I wanted. I was actually kind of excited to just sit down and start drawing. Recording the video was a bit of an afterthought, and so didn't really think about the angle. Every time I turned around and looked back at the camera, it looked fine, because of course I was turning around and looking back at it, and I wasn't thinking about where it was pointing. And then obviously the glare of the light is such that you have a really hard time seeing what I'm drawing. But you know what? I'm not perfect, and art's not perfect. Art is as much about learning and failure as it is about knowing and succeeding. And those are the types of life lessons that you will learn from me. You're probably also hearing my dog bark in the background. Um, so yeah, there's no such thing as a mistake. Bob Ross tells us they're just happy little accidents. And so that's what I'm going with right here. This is going to be a landscape painting, mainly focused on a tree. You'll kind of see my head turned to the left there. Off to the left, where you can't see it, is my laptop, and on my laptop is a photo that I took of a tree that's local to where I live. Big, gorgeous, sprawling tree. Beautiful tree. So it is actually a photo that I took, is the foundation for this. That is actually kind of important to me, to use photos that I have taken as reference. I certainly wouldn't pass judgment on people who use stock photos or who find photos online to use, but it is actually meaningful to me to use my own photography. I really love going out into the woods and taking photos. If you go to my website, you'll see a lot of my nature photography and a lot of my artwork that's based in nature. And so for me, using my own photos as source material, as reference material, just gives me a deeper connection, because I feel like I understand what I'm drawing and painting a little bit better, because it's not just a photo that I found online. This is a space I've actually walked around in. This is a tree I've seen from many different angles. Um, it just makes it a little bit more meaningful to me. But like I said, I certainly wouldn't judge somebody who use stock photos as reference. You do what you got to do, for sure. Um, so the next step in this, because obviously this is just part one, where we're putting down sort of a base drawing, and I'm working out the scale and the proportions of the composition. Next step will be a base coat where I'll start blocking in some colors, some light and some darks, and I might even start applying some of the textured medium that I want to sort of experiment with this. I have an idea in my head, the kind of color palette that I want to use and what kind of texture effects I want to use on this painting. But I've also found that in my work, at least, I tend not to overplan. Obviously, as you see, another great shot of the back of my shoulder. I tend not to overplan. I just kind of tend to let things unfold the way they will. So I do hope that you'll be at least interested enough to watch part two. Please click subscribe. I am going to be putting out a lot more content on this channel. And this is actually what the drawing looked like when I was finished. Thank you guys very much. Please hit subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.